Good morning, evening, or afternoon to all of you beautiful people. Josh here to bring you some sweet voice-based content. Now, one of the best things about voice acting is that the voice behind a character can really surprise you. Notable examples of surprising voice actors include Nancy Cartwright, who did the voice of Bart Simpson, Grace Stafford, who did the voice of Woody Woodpecker back in the 1950s, and Shredder, who was played by James Avery. That's Uncle Phil to us 90s kids. And while these voices are pretty surprising, it was actually while making this video that I found out about James Avery, so that was pretty cool to find out. But there's actually a real life story that I have that made me sort of realize that you should expect the unexpected, especially when it comes to people's voices. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Burger King story. Let's go! So this story takes place way back when I was about 14 years old. On one particular day, I just finished hanging out with some of my friends and I fancied picking myself up a little Burger King, get myself one of them beautiful XL Bacon Double Cheeseburgers. XL Bacon Double Cheeseburger. So I stroll in with my headphones in, ready to queue up and ignore everybody else until I can get my food. Pretty much the exact same thing I do nowadays. Then I look up and realize exactly who's in front of me. Now, you may remember a few years ago there was that old meme going around. Do you remember the "Do you even lift" meme? Imagine that as a person, and that is the man who was stood in front of me. This guy was fucking huge. It looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger had made a baby with a fucking protein powder factory. Also, he had a massive ginger afro. Not relevant to the story, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. But the point to take away from this is this guy was fucking huge. He was built like a brick shithouse. Now, being the scrawny, socially awkward 14-year-old that I was, well, terrified. Especially when, apropos of nothing, the guy just turned around to face me. I really wasn't sure why he turned around, or why he even interacted with me in the first place. Maybe it was because, at the time, I had an afro. I mean, it was way smaller than this guy's, but then again, so was my entire fucking body. But to my surprise, he just turned around, gave me the typical dude bro, sup, nod. You know the one, the sup nod. Where you don't really nod, you just kind of jump your head up a little bit. You know the one. And I kindly returned the nod, trying desperately not to pee myself out of fear. But then it was his turn to go up, so he turned around, walked up to the counter, and began to place his order. And this is where the story gets interesting. Now, normally a guy who is this built and this heavy, this fucking muscular beast of a man, I would normally expect him to sound something like this.
Hey, can I get a double Texas barbecue, please? No cheese as well.
But to my surprise, what came out of him was this.
Hey, how you doing? Can I get a kid's cheeseburger? No cheese, please.
And my jaw hit the fucking ground. This did not make sense. How could somebody who looked like Braun Strowman's ginger cousin sound like that? It didn't make any fucking sense. And you might be thinking that I was the only one surprised by this. I was not, because when I went up to the cashier, he literally looked me dead in the face and went, "You heard that too, right?" Back then, it was a total shock to me, but nowadays I'm actually kind of used to hearing unexpected voices. Although then again, maybe this story is the reason why. I mean, after something like that, I don't think any voice could really surprise me. So normally when I tell you these stories, there's some kind of moral alongside it, but to be honest with you, other than expect the unexpected, which is kind of an arbitrary title, I just thought it was kind of a funny story and just kind of wanted to tell it. Plus, it's still funny as hell to me, especially considering, thinking back, I would have paid good money to see my reaction to that, because, legitimately my jaw hit the floor when it happened. And there we go, that is the Burger King story. I've told this story to quite a few different friends and family, and they seem to enjoy it, so I hope you did too. Also, I do kind of have to take the time out to say, Taye, I'm sorry for what I did to your voice, dude. As an apology on my behalf, please, for the love of God, go and subscribe to his channel. He makes amazing content, and his voice does not sound that high-pitched normally. I promise. Oh my god, his voice normally sounds so cool, and I made him sound like me before puberty. Jesus. Love you, dude. Thanks for lending me your voice. Please go subscribe to him. But either way, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more beautiful voice-based content. Keep your eyes out for my next video. I upload every 2 weeks. But until then, stay wonderful.